If your ink's too slow and your nib won't flow, here's one of the places that you can go. Larry is here to see you through with Mr. Announcer and Cubby too. It's Larry's Fountain Pen Reviews.
Hey, welcome everybody. How is everybody doing today? Stan, how you doing? Dan, my man, how you doing? Yep, Liz should be on your...
I'm half good.
But hey, at least you're half nothing. That's good. So, hey, today we're going to bring back Mike, and he's going to be back on several occasions because there's a lot of things that I want to ask Mike, and I want that information to be put out to the people so they understand the details, what's going on. I want them to understand about these fountain pens, which is really important. First of all, welcome, Mike. How you doing, buddy?
I'm doing great. Thank you very much. How are you?
Good, good. Mike, down there in the bottom is Stan, and to your left is, my left is Dan.
Okay.
Hi, guys.
Hi Larry. Hi, Mark. Hi, Mike.
Okay, so first question I want to ask you, Mike, are you going to be, and we talked about this before, shipping overseas right now?
Well, I haven't faced that challenge yet. All the people that have bought pens have been in the U.S., so it's just U.S. post office. But if someone's buying overseas, we will work through it. I haven't, I'm new to this, but I will work through. I fully intend to ship overseas if people are buying pens from elsewhere.
Okay, all right. So we heard that. Now we don't know what the shipping cost will be. Hey, welcome, Doc. How you doing?
Yeah.
Hey guys. Yeah.
So maybe Doc might know. Doc, do you have any idea what the shipping cost would be overseas?
It's sometimes not as unreasonable as you might think. It depends on if you need an insured package or not. Hi Liz. It depends, Larry. I've shipped a lot of stuff with eBay, and it's all different. In some countries, it's harder, but normally, what I do if you're talking about a T-shirt or a pen.
Pen.
Okay. Yeah. No. I mean, if some countries, if you declare the value for insurance purposes, they could incur tariffs and taxes. But it all depends on the country. You can check. Actually, you can go to the U.S. Post Office website and find out about it. Yeah.
Okay. Good. And there's Miss Liz. Welcome, welcome.
Hey there.
And I always call her Lisa. I don't know why, but oh well.
It's okay. It works.
Yeah. Or turtle lady, or squirrel lady, or pigeon, whatever, moose, deer, whatever. Pin lady. Okay. All right. So here we go. So anyway, all right. So we got that question answered. All right, Mike. Tell the people about the nibs that they will be able to purchase.
Right. Okay.
Pen, right? Is that going to be with the pen they buy?
Right. Every pen you buy, I mean, it comes with a nib. I mean, it comes with a steel nib, the basic standard number 6. It's usually, I'll make the pen. I can make a pen either way, but the ones that are already made have already had a decision made. They come with either a Yovo or a Bach, depending on which way they were made. And then given that, they will take any Yovo, let's pick on a Yovo pen. It will take any Yovo number 6 nib in any finish or in any size. All right. I also have a couple special nibs. I think that's where you want to talk about those as well. I went to the Chicago Pen Show. That was my very first pen show. And I had a couple some of my other pens that I already owned ground, into a custom grind by Kirk Spear at Pen Realm. And I talked to him. I sat and talked to him for a while he was doing all this. And just for fun, I went ahead and purchased about a half dozen pre-ground nibs from him. Whoops, throwing it down. Okay, that one's good. It's still in the case. And so like this one here, this is and this is, by the way, this is the case he shipped them in, which is pretty nice. It sits on a little stand and everything, floating here in plastic. This is a needlepoint. So I bought about a half dozen. I put it on my Instagram feed, but there's about a half dozen. There's a architect, a reverse architect, a needlepoint, a cursive italic. So if somebody wants to wants to try one of these, they can certainly, we can just add this in. It's just whatever he charged me to get these. Okay. So I just thought it'd be fun. I just like exploring different things as well. So I thought other people might want to try that. So I've got these nibs available too, but these are just the Yovo, the in the gold, of course. So
okay, hold that thought right there. Let me go to
Sure.
Doc and the question. Doc, have you used any of those nibs? If so, how's the experience to writing with those nibs?
Larry, the vast majority of these custom pens use either a Yowo or a Bach nibs. A few might use the Schmidt nibs, but they're excellent nibs. Sometimes they need more setting up than others, but no, they're great nibs. I mean, typically, I believe Leonardo really leans towards the Bach style nibs. And most manufacturers, even the bigger ones, they do make their own nibs, like Mont Blanc, of course, but for a while there they weren't. It's always unusual. Just like what recently, the Italian pen company. They introduced a large number 8 nib. They make it themselves. Anybody remember the name of the pen? Santini. Santini. Yeah, it's called the Giant number 8 or something like that.
Really?
And it's a beautiful nib, but it's rare to come across folks that make their own nibs. I can go on, but I don't want to take up too much time. Yeah.
Okay, well, thanks.
But they're great nibs. They're great nibs, Larry.
Okay, cool. All right,
Leonardo switched from Bach to Yovo, by the way.
Who did?
Leonardo. You mentioned Leonardo, Bach, but
they switched to Yowo?
Yes.
So
I have Leonardo in my pocket with the number 8 Bach nib, but that was made a long time ago.
So. Oh, nice.
Okay. So,
Doc, which do you favor? Do you favor the Bach over the Yovo, or vice versa?
For stiffness, as I said one night, I actually prefer stiffer nibs, but the Yovo is definitely stiffer. But I also like the Bach nibs. I've developed a lighter touch over the 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 beginning, I was like chiseling paper.
Okay. Okay.
All right. So, Mike, the nib that you will be offering is extra fine, fine, medium, broad. Are you going to be offering double broad? Are you going to be 1.5, 1.1, 1.0? What?
Right. I have some double. I do have double broad in Bach. I have 1.1 and 1.5 stubs in Yovo. Basically I'll stock, I try to buy pretty much whatever I can find when I run into a site. And sometimes some of these nibs are not always available at any given moment, or not in large quantities. But I have a fairly good selection of nibs now. I try to have a nib for every pen, and I've got quite a few laying around now. And I scattered things around. I also have different finishes now. On the Yovo side, I've primarily got gold, but on the Bach side, I have the gold-plated steel. I mean, these are all steel nibs, the number 6s here. Gold, rose gold, the polished steel, and the bicolor. At the very beginning, I was buying a lot of the bicolor because I thought they looked really nice. I like those. So, but
okay,
go ahead.
Another one. When people order, let's say, a gold nib. Now, if you don't have that certain gold nib, they're going to have to wait. Why don't you tell a little bit about, if you don't have a certain nib in stock, there's going to be a wait time period that'll.
Right. Now, I guess that, it's when you're talking about different variations of how things would go. Yeah. I have I won't say, oh yeah, I've got everything, but I've got a fairly good selection right now. But if it turns out that you want something that I don't have right on hand, I'll have to order it. It might take about a week, worst case, something like that for that to arrive. So it'll just add a week before I can ship the pen. That's all it would do. And it wouldn't change things otherwise.
Okay, so
in the chat section, I posted an image. I think, Larry, you've seen it before, but I had some I think 14 or 18 karat gold nibs that John Brooks, who makes those beautiful acrylics or whatever they are, he basically laser etched them with an owl. So it's in the chat section. If you just click on the image, you'll be able to see it. It's beautifully done.
So
yeah, he does some beautiful laser etching, and again, if someone really wants that kind of thing, I could certainly have him etch things and things as well, but that's going to add time, of course.
Okay, so let's talk about making a pen. Okay, what person wants a pocket pen? You can do that, right? All right.
Right.
So
right.
How long would that take?
Well, it all depends on where I am
Okay.
at that point, but presuming, given nothing else is, I'm not, I have time to work on pens and all that. No, life hasn't been interfering. Right now, I don't really have a backlog. I'm making pens that I want to make. So I don't have an order backlog right at the moment, but it'll just depend on how many people are in line ahead of you, of course. But usually, I think I've made a couple custom pens, and I think that people have ordered, and we worked out. Once we work out what you want, I think I've finished both of those within a week. Actually, not both. It's more like 3 or 4 of them at this point lately. So I can turn them pretty quickly. Again, assuming life isn't interfering.
Yeah. So you answered my next question about that. Yeah. So let's say I call you up, say, Mike, I want a pen the same size of a Mont Blanc 149. Would you do that for me, please? And I want to go, and I just want a rose gold colored clip on it, and I want a band on it too, as well.
Okay. Well, the issue there is that I would then, right now I have some clips, and see, that's where things get difficult. I have clips. I'm just starting to work with clips, so I don't have a large selection, nor do I have a large amount, set of sizes. So if I was trying to match, say, a Mont Blanc pen, I might have to go find a clip, right? And that would take some time. Now, given time, like I said, I've just been starting to play with clips, so I'm in a little. It's sort of like where I am with nibs right now. Nib wise, I won't say I'm getting cocky about it, but I've got a fairly large number of nibs. I have pretty much everything, pretty much a lot of the standard nibs. But on the clip side, I'm just starting. The size is somewhat limited on what sizes I have and the styles, but I'm expanding that. That will change over time.
So, and the reason why I asked, so again, if you don't have a certain clip that you need, again, there's going to be a waiting period because you have to find that clip.
Right. Right now, I went off and bought a small selection of a particular brand, and I'm just starting to start using them. But that's all I have right on hand right at the moment. So that would be the kind of problem there, But I'll definitely I can, I need, if I can find something that matches what you want, I'll go get it,
Okay, so I think your biggest seller going on right now is with the Ebonite, right?
Well, I made, it was an experiment. I've been doing a lot of Alumilite, pens. That's been most of the pens I've been making have been made with Alumilite, which is a very popular material nowadays. And I decided, let's try this Ebonite. I've never owned an Ebonite pen, and I wanted to just try the material. That's a beautiful material. And so I made 4 pens. I only have 1 left, though. So the other 3 all sold. So they've been doing very well. Yes.
Good. Now, let's go over again to go to your site, because I've had some people ask again, and to me it's confusing. To me it's hard to find. First of all, you are planning to have your own website to make it easier for your future customers that can go to your website and pick what they want, click, pay, blah, right?
Right. Well, I have a website right now, and I'll just say it's Mike's Pen Fun, like Mike's Pen Fun, having fun, all run together, Mike's with an S and then .com. I have that site, and at this point, it's more of a gallery. It's a picture gallery. So it's just so you get a list of, you can see all the pens, and there's a very short description with them. So you can see them, and I mark them whether they've been sold or not. So at least it's something. But yeah, what you're talking about, I would like to do in the future, put up a real, like a commerce site, which is the kind of thing I like. I like to be able to walk in, see the pen, click, I want that one and that one and that one, and click, ship tomorrow. And I don't have, that's what I do not have set up right now. So, and anybody who's been into that kind of thing knows those aren't things you can turn in like a day or two. It takes a little while. I know one of my suppliers just went through it. I think it took them a while to get going, and I've talked to, they have a couple little issues in their site as well. So it takes some work to get something like that going, but that's in my plans. Yes, to have a real site where you can look at what's in stock and buy things that are right in stock right now. but you can still do it now. It's just not, there's a little more friction. You have to look at the pens, and I just posted a set of here's what's available right now kind of picture with all the pens, with all the prices, with little index numbers on them. So that's like, as of right now, this is what's here. Okay. So that you can look at that website, pick out pens and look and give me numbers so we won't get confused about which one's which. You don't have to give me the name or anything like that. And then you can hit the contact button at the bottom of the page and it'll just build up a form, and you can just email me a message, right? I have the same thing over on my Instagram account. My Instagram is MIGHKE42. But Mike was already taken, Mike.com was already taken. So I kind of went with MIGHKE, Mike, sort of a misspelled Mike is what that really is, okay? So that's what kind of was the root of all that. So I have MIGHKE42 on Instagram. And that's where I usually, if you're going to interact, that's a lot more, it's a lot easier to interact with, at least for me anyway, on Instagram. And I know you do Facebook a lot. I just haven't gotten into Facebook, but so Instagram was a good place to go. And when I finish new pens, I will post them on both. All right. I'll post them on Instagram and I'll post them on my website, and they'll be right at the top, the new ones. And then you can, on Instagram, you can send me a message. You can do a direct message or just a message. And just, again, the same kind of thing. Mike, I want to get that pen, and then we'll just, so it's not quite as easy as just putting it on your cart and checking out and putting in your credit card information. It's not quite that easy, but, I haven't had too much trouble with it.
Okay. So somebody is going to order a pen from you, and okay, they get it on the computer. Now, walk us through it. They're going to go to Instagram, right?
Okay.
Or where? So
either way will work. Either way will work pretty good. I've had both work very well. You go to Instagram. Let's pick on Instagram for a moment. You go to MIGHKE42 rather. Go to that. You will see a gallery of pictures. Okay, of pens. You can scroll around and look at them, and there's descriptions. They'll be saying things like, oh, this has a Bach nib on it, this has a Yovo nib on it, and and it says the same thing on the individual pictures over on the website if you go that way. And then you can kind of get a feel for, okay, it's this one, here's the name. It does have that gallery picture with all the numbers and all the prices on it, so you can just see there. And then when you see something you like, you just message me and say, Mike, I want pen whatever. And usually, most of the cases, people will just go ahead, I'll take, like everybody, I think like most people, I can spend money, probably a dozen ways. Well, I can accept money probably about a dozen ways as well.
Oh,
so a lot of people do PayPal, but I can do credit cards and whatever. But PayPal probably fairly easy for a lot of people. But I'll work with you and we'll work it out, So.
Okay, real quick, and then let me mention this and then I'll get back to you.
Okay.
Mike has a sale going on for 30% off that ends
right.
today. Well, Mike and I talked about it, and Mike's going to extend the sale for 30% to December the 16th at midnight. Bam, it's cut off right then. So you still have time to order pens for yourself, for family or friends, or for me. So don't be bashful. Okay, so there it is. I always got to throw a little me in there. So, okay, sorry.
That sounds reasonable.
Yeah.
So do people just mention you, Larry, or is there a code or something?
I'm not really, let's just put it this way. I'm not really formal and strict. Now, the precise code, the top secret code is Larry 49. Okay.
So just mention Larry.
Larry 49. But if you mentioned Larry or one guy, yeah, I saw you on YouTube and I'm interested in this pen. And my response was, you forgot the secret code.
Yes.
You forgot the secret code. I gave him the discount anyway.
So,
okay?
you get 29% off. So there. Okay. So,
okay, Larry, I didn't punish him, but however, if you want to, after we're done here real quick, if you want to give me a list of the things people want, you put your wish list together so that people could say, I want to get Larry a pen. What does he want? And I'll know that.
Well,
okay.
Mike knows already, don't you, Mike?
Yeah, you can give me your wish
Kinda.
list for people that want to give you a gift.
Yeah, kind
You've
of.
got to work that into.
My only problem is picking the pen. That's my only problem. Okay.
Yeah.
So, okay, so that's going to be running. So that's cool. Now, people
Yeah,
have
and
been,
yeah, I was
okay,
just
on
gonna,
this
sorry
giveaway.
to interrupt you, but I wanted to throw in, we went 2 more weeks, and the nice thing about that is December 16th, that's basically the cutoff for the poster office getting it to you by Christmas. So that was just kind of, okay, let's do 2 more weeks. And then if you get it in before that, for you procrastinators, you will still get it before Christmas if you do it by the end of that sale. So, okay, go ahead. I'm sorry.
Okay, so Lisa, real quick for Liz, did you have something you wanted to ask Mike real quick? No?
No, I don't have
I thought
anything.
you were gonna. Okay, okay. So, okay, here's another one for you. All right, I've had some emails about how do they get in on winning a free pen. And we have talked about that, but let me shoot this over to Doc, because Doc does his very well. I like the way he does his, and I have no earthly idea how Doc does his. So Doc, help me.
Photoshop.
Oh, Photoshop. You know that, Mr. Announcer?
What about it?
On the giveaway, pen giveaway, Photoshop. He uses Photoshop. Need a hearing aid?
For the giveaway. Okay.
Yeah, that's what he uses.
Okay. I don't know what he does with it.
I just have a photo I use, and I just delete the old pen and put a new one in there and change some of the language. But I'd be happy to do one for you if you want me to.
That'd be cool. How about that?
Doesn't
Yeah,
take.
mind,
I just need a
yeah.
good image. I just need a good image of the pen. That's all. Most of
Cool.
what I work with is stock images that are online from the place where I buy them. In this case, I think most of the pens I purchased were from Dan Smith.
So this is a giveaway for Mike's pen,
Right, from Mike.
Okay, so
yeah.
you can just use an image from Mike's website.
Right.
Absolutely.
But,
Mike, if you
we're
send
gonna
me
use
your
image- I'm only going to use images of the pens that are going to be given away. I'm not going to be using any other images right now. Just
Right.
one pertaining to the giveaway. That's it.
All right, Larry, let's just, why don't we sit down, off the side here real quick later afterwards or whatever, and you tell me which pen you want to do. We have a couple pens we're left. Okay, I gave that away, but you wanted to do one in December and one in January, but we'll just say, okay, this is the one we're going to do in December, and I can send Doc the image for that specific pen.
Put my email address in the chat section, so you can just email me.
Very good. Okay, I'll email the image to you, and then Larry, then people will need to know, okay, how do they get into this giveaway entry system?
Okay, real quick, the giveaway, when we last spoke on this, is going to be done on the 8th. That's on a Wednesday of this month. And then the second giveaway is going to be done on January the 1st. That will be on a Saturday, I believe.
Well, are you talking about when the winner will be chosen, or when you're going to post the giveaway?
No, when the winner will be chosen.
What gets complicated with those types of things, if you notice, this last giveaway, I just posted to your group. Because I've done it in the past, where I've posted to all the fountain pen groups, and I'm stuck with like literally thousands of entries, because all you have to do is just like mine. And so then you got to go through and accumulate all those different entrants, and then try and do a blind choosing of them. If you're going to limit it to your website, it won't be a problem. I forget how many, it might have been like 142, I think. Liz, I'm not quite sure how many were. It wasn't like it was like massive amounts, because that could take a long time to do. So if you limit it to your website, it would be easier. If you go to like the Fountain Pen Network or Fountain Pens, David Isaacson's place, you'll get a lot of people clicking on that. So depends. You can set up any parameter you want. I just keep it simple. Just click like. You don't have to post a comment or anything. But you can make it more stringent, is not the word, but more involved to require certain things. For me, it's just click like. So you guys have to decide how you want to do that. It's how you in the end going to choose those folks. I just basically do a blind picking of somebody. So
Larry will have to determine whether he's going to do it through Facebook, through his group, or usually in the past, Larry's done it through his YouTube video.
So you would look at the people online who commented, or?
Yeah, well, they will email
Excuse me
me.
one
by
second.
email.
I got to take this phone call. It's my sister.
Okay, yeah. So we can
Like,
keep it like that. On the YouTube, I always say you can always, email me at my Gmail account and just put your name, address in, and we pick a random. And then I also mentioned that on my Facebook, folks, and then on my social media. That's how we've done it. But what I like about Doc's way he does is the picture looks sharp. It looks, kind of neat, where mine doesn't look neat.
Well, yeah, you can just use one of Mike's images, and then on if you do it through Facebook, then you can just what Joe does is just have the people hit like on there, and then you can just get all the names and then do your random your random pick through that.
That's what we'll do. That's what we'll do. Yeah.
Okay.
Because I don't
Well,
want to
you've
go.
done it before.
That's
I don't
easy.
want to go to 500 names.
So just post it, give people a couple days to get on there and be able to like the image, and then you can just put on the date on there when you'll be choosing your winner.
Now, if you see some fictitious names for those pin giveaways, you know who did that. I'm teasing. I'm teasing. Mike said, that's that Larry guy doing it. Yeah. And Liz is helping him. Wow. Let's get it, Liz. Yeah. Whoa.
I'm the culprit.
Yes. Okay. So now, Mike, let's talk about posting pins, because on your Instagram site, those pins there, some post and some do not. So do people need to ask you the question because they may want to post their pins? Some may not.
I understand. Yeah, since I personally don't post pens, I haven't really. Sometimes I wasn't paying much attention on the later pens. Lately after I got that feedback, I've started to make sure they posted, or in a couple cases, a couple cases I specifically don't have them post, but I do have intentions of going through and updating the descriptions and putting in things like, does this pen post, and I've even got a scale so I can weigh them and tell you how much they weigh, and I'll measure how long they are. So there's a lot of information I need to go through and I can add to the thing. But right now, the simplest thing to do is this looks really good, and you can't tell by looking at it sometimes you can, but if you look at it, you're not sure, why don't you just message me or send me a contact, hit the contact button and say, okay, this pen right here, does this post or not? Or tell me, here's 3 pens I want to think about. Tell me whether they post or not, if that's important to you. And I can tell you.
Okay. Now, another question. What if they want solid colored pens? Is that hard for you to get?
No, I can get solid colored pens. I've done a couple solid colored pens. I did a black one that actually had a little sparkle to it, and I thought it looked really good. And of course, somebody else did too. It sold, but and the solid black ebonite pen is gone. But I can do solid colors. In fact, I have a fair selection of solid colors around to play with as well.
And Mike, do you also do where you have the body of the pen and the cap 2 different colors instead of the same? Or can you request that, or is that not?
They can certainly request that, and the pens are from pen to pen. One of the measurements is the diameter of how the barrel and the cap come together. Like this one here, I'm just going to hold this one up real quick. This one is a 13 millimeter pen. This diameter right here, and that's done by with mechanics. So that's always very precisely done. You can get either 13, 14, or 15. Those are the 3 that I've been making lately, and I can mix and match among existing pens if they happen to be the same size. But if you're getting a custom pen, anything can be done.
Okay.
Right?
Okay.
I can put any, there with these pens right here, like this one here, I'm picking on this one again. There's 3 pieces. There's the cap, the barrel, and the section, the part that the nib is screwing into, right? This little piece here. And I could just pick 3 different pieces of material to make those 3 pieces.
Okay.
And that's really easy.
Okay.
Now, I've just, Larry has got my first one that I made with a cap, And then there's another piece right here that is the part above the, I'm sorry, the clip rather. And that is, that could be made a different color as well. Anytime I break the pen, you know, like if I put a band in, I could change colors on either side of that break, or I could, of course, just have different pieces of material put together and change colors. But the simplest thing is you're asking for is just a cap and a barrel, different colors. And that's really easy to do. You just make this out of one material, make this out of a different material. Very, very easy.
Okay, very good.
Yeah.
So, okay, folks, so what we're going to do on the giveaway, we're going to just keep it simple right now and continue doing what we've been doing. If you want to get in on the giveaway, just go to my Gmail address and Mr. Announcer.
Larry B 0711@gmail.com.
And just put in, and that's all you got to do. Okay. Tell them how we do our giveaway here.
We assemble the list of names, and usually I'll either use the Google random number generator or just ask Siri. She also does random numbers.
Oh.
If she's sober, she does. Sometimes she's a little off. So
is that posted already? Is that already available, Larry? Or
it will be tonight when this goes on.
Okay.
Tonight, yeah. So
yeah, there'll be a description in the description below the video, right?
Right.
So, it'll be right down there exactly how to do it.
And I'll say it again. Giveaway starts today. Okay. Anyway, can you hear that? Good. Now, I'm going to do I don't know. I think Mike might get a little agitated at me because I'm going to say it. I don't
say
think
it. Say it.
No, I don't think I'm supposed to say it because I don't think he wants to do it. Oh
no. Well, say it.
Yes.
And I can.
You know what it is? Yes.
Which one is it?
Yeah, it's the only one you have left. He has one ebonite pen left.
Yes.
No,
that's fine. That's fine. You know, one of the things, you know, I make the pens, you know, of course I start, you know, like, you know, I love pens. I love pens. I have a lot of fun with pens. I've been having lots of fun with my pens and I enjoy them a lot. And I do get rather attached to them. And when I started making pens, I basically said, now, remember, Mike, you can always make another one. Do not get so attached to one of these that you can't live without it, you know? And so I am not at that level where I won't ship this. This is, I made, as I said, I was experimenting with ebonite. I made 4 of them, and there was a black and red, a blue and white, and a full black one. Those all 3 went. The only one that's left right now is this black and white one, okay? And it's sort of a yellowish white. It's not you know, when they mixed it together, the color kind of went more yellow than white, but it's a black and white ebonite pen. And, you know, I can understand why people like ebonite pens. They're very nice. But if someone wants it, you know, it's not going to break my heart. You know, Larry, I'm fine. People can buy this. So.
Because you're going to start crying when somebody buys it. I know you are. Yeah.
I will. It'll kind of hurt a little bit. The other thing is, in that same series, I was also experimenting. Again, we're talking nib games again. I made these so that they could accept a number 8 nib as well as a number 6. And this has right at the moment, I bought 2 of the number 8 nibs because the Bach number 8 nibs are expensive. They're either titanium or solid gold.
Yep.
Someone's already got the titanium one, folks. So that one's gone. And of course I can always buy more, and this is the gold one. So this is the only pen I have left that will accept this nib. So if someone buys this pen, I'm gonna have to, I guess I'll have to make another pen. That's all.
You know, I think from my sense of aesthetic, I love the Bach number 8s. I'm not crazy about this Yowo number 8s. They're very squat and wide. I got to post an image. I got one pen with that number 8 nib in it. I mean, it's impressive, but it's just the Yowo, the Bach has a better, in my opinion, proportion than the Yovo does. Not quality I'm talking about, just the looks to my eyes. So I'll see if I can find it and post it. I forget whose pen. Oh, it had John, what's his name? Sean Newton made the pen for me.
Okay.
Think.
Well, you have so many pens, Doc. Well, at least you did, but yeah. So, all right. So let's critique all this. Okay, folks. If you want a custom-made pen, you get in touch with Mike and tell Mike, I want it with this material or that material. I want it to post or not to post. I want it with or without a clip, depending on the pen that you want him to make. If he has the right size clip in stock, not the problem to make it, get it out in a fairly decent time. But if not, there's going to be a little wait time. So be prepared to wait. Now, the question is, I'm going to throw back to you, Mike. Don't they have to put up a deposit for that? I know a lot of pen makers do that.
Some require
Yeah.
full payment up front, yeah.
Well,
Some do, you know, I know you've been pushing, you've been asking me about this before, and I have to grow up or something, right? Is that what I have to do? I don't know.
I mean, answer
As a
it for you.
businessman. Yeah, I think the answer, yeah, go ahead and give me your suggestion. I'll go with your suggestion. That's a reasonable approach.
Yeah, he's going to
What? Go ahead.
require a deposit, and you have 30 days to, to finish paying for it, or you lose the deposit. So there.
Okay,
End of
and I
story.
think the amount you were talking about was a $50 deposit, right?
Right, $50
Right.
deposit. Yeah.
And that's fair. You know, all the custom pens I've made, of course I haven't made that many at this point. I haven't been doing that long. Unless you ask for something really strange, I also kind of have a little confidence that no, you're not that. But if you ask for something really that no one else would ever want, I would worry. But most of the custom pens I've made have all been things that I was pretty confident someone else would like. So I'm not really out making a custom pen. And and this is for people that are like, maybe you're thinking about this, and you're going to go, oh no, it's a life or death commitment. No. If something happens, I mean, okay, now I'm hurting my deposit thing here, but if something happens in your life and you can't do it and it falls through, it's not the end of the world. I will find someone else who wants that. Someone else, if you, I can't think of off the top of my head, someone may be more imaginative to come up with something that like, oh, no one else would ever want that pen, then, then it's more of a problem. But most everything people like, you guys like, other people are going to like it too.
Absolutely.
Right. And so it's not, so don't feel bad. I mean, I don't want to scare people away from asking for custom pens, because they're going to ask for things that I'm sure are going to be wonderful pens. And if something happens, someone else will want that pen, so I'm not too worried about it.
Just a quick word about the image I posted. If you look at the Newton Prospector, that's a number 8 YOLO nib. The pen next to it, the Arco, Extra Arco ASC, that is the number 8 Bach nib. And so that gives you, to my eye, the proportion of the number 8 Bach looks nicer to me than the more squat appearance of the, but you guys have a different opinion. I don't know.
Is that a 14 karat gold, that Bach?
The Bach is an 18 karat gold, and so 18. Is the YOLO 18.
Okay. Mike, what does that add to the price? What does that add to the price of a pen, Mike?
Well, I've done again, I've only bought those 2 nibs. I buy a lot of the number 6 in steel, and I've been kind of working through who does what and whatever. The 2 I bought, the 18 karat Bach number 8, I think it ended up working out to be about a $250 nib. Okay,
right.
This nib here, and there's no magic here. You can go to somebody who sells these, and basically I'm not marking them up. I'm just buying them and selling them at cost. I'm not doing anything different with them, and so I think this was around the 250 area. The titanium nib was about 160, as I recall, and so it's going to be whatever the cost is to get it. There's and usually I bundle it with other things I'm buying, so the shipping isn't necessarily added just to that one nib, because there's usually shipping costs involved too with these.
Yes.
All right. But it's basically effectively at cost. It'll be the same price you get from pretty much anybody. Now, some people, of course, I bought just those 2. As you can imagine, I didn't buy like one of every size of these nibs at $200 and some each, whatever it would work out to be. If you buy in quantity, you can get a better price, but I'm buying onesie twosies, so I'm pretty much paying retail, if you will. Okay.
If anyone has any problems when they go to one of your sites because they want to order a pen, they can always call you on your landline or mobile phone.
Right. Yeah. You can, again, I'll give you my phone number. You can text me if you like to do texting as well, or you can just call me. The number is 612-812-1674. So I mean, we can talk very often with custom pens, and I'm sure if you've ever dealt with anybody and bought one, usually there's more than one question. And I'm I'm an old fashioned person. If it takes more than 2 text messages to do something, maybe we should be talking on the phone, and actually having a conversation and work it out quickly rather than keep exchanging text messages. But I'll do whatever.
My ordering years ago, I ordered the Hakase, which I showed at a different time when we met, and that pen was very complicated to order because the site's in Japanese. It's just like 2 or 3 page. I actually made a PDF on how I ordered it, but pretty all these options, and it's like sometimes I just want to give me my 149 and leave me alone. It's complicated.
Right.
Okay, so anything else you'd like to add, Mike?
No, I think we've covered everything, haven't we?
Well, there's one question I can ask. Let's say I have a Bach or Yovo unit already. Can I order a pen from you threaded for the Yovo or Bach without the nib unit?
Oh, certainly, yeah. And I would discount it, whatever, some amount. Yeah, I don't pay that much for nibs, but I would just knock off the price of the nib then. Yeah, definitely. And also I should point out, I can do other things too. Now the pens I've already made, of course, you'll look on the site and it'll say, okay, this is a Yovo number 6. It's a Yovo number 6, right? That decision has been made. But if you're buying a new pen, a custom pen or whatever, I can make it whatever you want. And again, to your question, if you for example, you already have a really fine, we'll say Bach number 6, okay? You can, any of my pens that take Bach number 6, you could just order that pen and just say, take out the nib. I'll supply my own nib, right? Does that make sense? And then you can put in the really fantastic nib that you already own. That would be fine. And they just, if you dig back, you can see it, Larry's reviews of a couple of my pens, they just thread in and out of the section. So it's pretty easy to change nibs. Until I started making pens, I was kind of afraid to take a pen apart, but these are very easy to deal with. So,
okay, how
And
about
the converter that you use the pens do come with a converter.
right? I buy and I have, for the most part, I use Pelican converters, just because I have a friend that says those are the really good ones. So I've taken his word. I've actually had no problems with them. I do have a few Schmidt converters in there as well, and the Schmidt converters are pretty good. So yeah, it's either going to, usually the newer ones, that at least if it has a newer, I built it more recently, it's almost certainly going to have a Pelican, but some of the older ones might still have Schmidt nibs or converters in them. But yes, all the pens come with a converter. Again, I'm kind of making pens the way I would want to have them. So I'm a bottle ink person, and I don't want to, whatever. So I want a converter. So when I get a pen, I want a converter in the pen. But unless you say otherwise, I'll throw a couple cartridges in. I've got a Pelican Brilliant Black and Pelican Royal Blue. I usually throw one of each of those in as well, because sometimes maybe you get this package and maybe it arrives at your office and gee, all the bottles of ink are at home, and man, I sure would like to have some ink in this pen right now. So you can use cartridges. It takes standard international cartridges, and I include 2 with each pen.
Okay. Another question that's important, people are going to ask, what about a warranty on these pens? We've talked about that.
Okay, basically, like I think, and I'm not unusual, I think with most makers, if anything, if you have any problem at all, I mean, anything, no matter how trivial, talk to me about it. And I will do something, we'll work something out. I have, I should knock on wood here. I haven't had any problems. I just had somebody reach out to me today and just said, my pen arrived. I always worry about, is the US mail going to fail me this time? Because it does happen to people where maybe it gets lost in the mail, So we will work it out. Well, if anything goes wrong, or if it turns out, Mike, I said I wanted pen X and you sent me pen Y, or you put the wrong nib in it or whatever, let me know and we'll work it out. And if it down the road, if something goes wrong, let me know. I mean, if something like, whatever something breaks or doesn't work anymore, let me know and we can work that out. If you if you ran over it with your car, well, now maybe that may not be a free replacement, but
I mean,
but we
yeah,
can still work out that one, you know.
If you damage it yourself and it's not something on Mike's end, then come to bind up pen. Drop the pen on the floor, it cracks. That's it's not Mike's fault.
Well, I'm not gonna, yeah, but I'm not gonna. I don't want to get into the blame game or whatever. But if something like that happens, I've trusted. I've never had. Again, I haven't had any problems yet. But for example, if you say, "Well, I dropped and broke the cap," well, then I'll try to find a replacement cap for you. Okay, and there'll be some minor charge. I'm not gonna, whatever. It'll be something. I'm not gonna be mean about it or anything like that. It's because I want you to, these pens I want these pens to get used. And I wanted to continue using, and I want to support them and keep them going. So that's what I'll do.
Mike, you mentioned something before that made me think of something. And all the pens I've ordered in my life through the mail, few have ever been completely insured. They generally ship expedited or FedEx overnight, but the only time I've had is if I ship a pen. If you purchase a pen from me, I will insure it for the full value, but I will charge you the actual shipping price. I'm not going to charge you over that. And but I think about the pens I've ordered. Emperor's $2,000 pen shipped to me from Chatterley and all those folks shipped to me just U.S. mail and I don't remember ever having to pay for insurance. I don't think they used it. Think about it. It's a big risk regardless of how much you pay. Even the guy who's worked hard to get a $50 pen, most people could stand behind that, but the high price pens and the ones I've sold on eBay, especially overseas, they'll sometimes request, they don't want any insurance claim because they don't want to have to pay the import tax. And I make sure that they email me that they understand you're assuming the risk for this. I'll package it safely, but if it gets lost or gets broken and it's something, I mean, think about that. Even a relatively inexpensive pen, but every pen I've ever purchased, even the ridiculously high priced ones, that one I got coming now, the Tassia Winter's Breath, I mean, I don't think I think it's just being shipped through, I think it's FedEx, I forget. And with FedEx, just if you want to know, if you charge over a certain amount, FedEx wants to see the product. Like if I was to ship a guitar, you get this you go in there with this big box and insure it for $2,000 and they want to see it. I'm not opening this thing. So I don't even use FedEx anymore. So when I deal with Sarge, I have to insure all those pens. Sarge wants it through U.S. mail because you can charge up to $5,000 insurance on it without having to have anybody examine but it was just interesting you were talking about that because I don't ever remember having a pen shipped to me from a dealer where they paid or had me pay for the insurance, and I don't think the packages were ever insured. Anyway.
Right. I think, that's a good point. I think I've been shipping with just priority mail, which comes with like a $50 insurance.
Yeah.
And I think, and that's very common among all the other things I've bought too. And I've noticed that they are not adding insurance values. Yeah. So I think all of us are kind of gambling that, ourselves. Yeah. Instead of paying for the insurance, we're just gambling ourselves. But if something happens, I mean, like I say, if something gets damaged or if it gets lost or whatever, I'll just assume I'll just have to swallow the loss at that point. And if it gets really bad, I'm knocking on wood, I haven't really had much trouble with shipping at this point. I've heard some really horror stories. The COVID has really hurt some people, and where packages have gone off for 6 months or something or get lost completely. But so far I've been, but your point is well taken. I haven't really thought. I've looked at that and I said, every time you mail something and say, oh, it comes with $50 insurance, is that okay? And I go, yeah, that's good, because there is an additional charge to add insurance.
All right. Does anybody have any questions to ask Mike before we go? Dun, 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 dun. Everybody's quiet. Oh, and Mike, anything for you?
I mentioned this earlier. I had thought about this. I don't generally show upcoming events, but I'll show you right here. Right now, those blanks there are what I'm about to cut up and make into pens. And so I don't usually post on my Instagram things I have in progress, but all of these are about to become pens. And You know, and I've posted on my website, on the Instagram, videos of what does it look like when you turn the blank versus the pen next to it. Sometimes they're not, this is just kind of a hint of what colors are going to be in there. It's hard to say what's going to be revealed, but I just for you guys, these should be done in about a week or so, maybe by the end of the weekend, depending on, again, how life interferes with me. But they also all will have clips.
Yay!
So I'm just doing a series here, all with clips. So
I think I claimed that top one already, didn't I?
Well, I think you said you liked it a lot. Now you've done that before, but you didn't say, I want that one. Do not give it to somebody.
Yeah, but I did buy the other two. I said I claimed.
I know you did. I know. Now, if you want the top one, this one here.
Yeah, no, I'm just kidding.
Oh,
I just said
actually, a couple people, I think 3 of these were people that looked at, I posted the order when I got it from the Pensmiths. These are all Pensmiths blanks. When I got the order, I kind of just laid them all out, and it's fun to just look at them right away when you get them. And a couple people said, "Oh, I like the top one," or "I like the," and I know there were. I think you mentioned one, as I recall. I'm trying to remember precisely.
It was the top one, yeah.
It was the top one on the list. I don't remember which one that is, but so of the ones that got mentioned by people, they are in this pile here. They're in the selection somewhere. That top one is here somewhere, and on that initial posting. So these will all be coming out as pens in about a week or so, something like that.
Now, what kind of material is that, Mike? Is that ebonite or what is it?
These are all Alumilite. Okay.
Oh, okay.
They're all Alumilite. Here, I'll bring this one. I don't know if I can.
That one's really pretty too.
This is all by the Pensmiths, but this one here is called Wise Sage, and you can kind of see again the material when you look at it like this just gives you hints. You see the colors, but that's the outer surface. They swirl inside the blank. I don't know if I can bring it into where you can see the end of it. Sometimes the end will give you a little bit more of a hint of what it's going to look like. But that will change, of course, as you go down the material. So we'll have some new pens and new surprises here shortly. But I will give it away. They're all going to be 13mm pens, and they will all have these different clips on them, and they'll all be postable. So they'll be similar to the pen that Larry got with the clip. They'll be in design.
All right, folks. So before we go again, to get in on the giveaway, just go email me at my Gmail address and just put in it starts today, and it's the giveaway is going to be on the 8th. In fact, Mike, we'll come back on the 8th, and we'll do the giveaway live here on Zoom this time. A little bit different. That's cool. Yay. So that's going to happen. So anybody can join in and say in. So I don't care if you live in Mars, as long as you pay the shipping to Mars. Yeah. Okay.
So, there's one thing, if y'all don't mind, because I forgot from the meeting yesterday. I just wanted to bring up that there is a vintage pen magazine called Pennant. Ooh, it's not coming in clear. There it is, kind of. But it's a really cool magazine. I forgot to mention it with Richard's video yesterday. It's nothing but vintage pens. And the Federalist, is it Federalist? Federalist Pens and Paper advertises in there too.
Cool. So I think if nobody else has anything to ask, so we can go get this edited and get it on YouTube and get it going and get people going, and let me go take some medicine and scream so I get in the shower and ice cold shower to kill the nerves. So anyway, okay, folks. Hey, Doc, thanks for coming on. My main man, look at Dr. Joe, the man, the pen man, right there. Okay, all right. And Mr. Michael, a new kid on the block that's going to be growing. Michael, my man, making pens for Liz and I. No, I got really.
Yep, for you and Liz, and then other people that we can fit in. Yeah. Yeah.
Yes, and Stan. I'm sure Stan is going to buy one. I'm sure. So be waiting for Stan. I think Dan, my man, may jump on one. 30% off is a good price. Oh, before we go, yes, two things. On the ballpoint rollerball pins, if people prefer a rollerball, they need to be specific, right, when they order a pen, a ballpoint pen or rollerball pen, right?
Right. Yeah, I have a. If you look at the list of pens there, I do have several pens that are ballpoints or whatever. They come with Parker style refills, and I do stock rollerballs and gels and some colors. I don't have everything, but if you have something if you'd rather have a specific thing, just tell me what refill you want, and I'll swap it in. And
last but not least, you do make mechanical pencils, right?
Yeah, I have some. I have a multifunction pen that has a pencil, and I have a set of mechanical pencils about to hit as well. They'll be coming out soon.
Wow. All right.
Cool.
Well,
Very cool.
is that it?
That's it.
All right. From all my squirrels outside, said thank you very much for joining me today, and thank you, John, and thank you, Mike, and thank you, me, and thank you, Dan, thank you, Stan, thank you, Liz, thank you, Mr. Announcer, and that's it. My cat's right here having a fit. So, all right, folks. Hey, God bless. Have a great day.
It's been great. Thanks again, guys.
Yeah, thanks for
bye. See y'all later.
Yeah.
Bye.
Bye.